right, where are we? All right. So right now, you're probably asking, why is this American wearing a blindfold? And you're probably also wondering, is that an American flag and an eagle on it? Yes, it is. It's not the sleeping mask I wore on the plane, although I'll probably wear it home. But I can't see anything right now. I'm completely blind. And I think that's good because following Ryan Tierney onto a stage is terrifying enough. But now I can just try to find my way there. I think I'm getting close. Secretly, I'm just kind of hoping I don't fall on my face, trip on the stairs. I think they're close. And I'm just kind of hoping that maybe somebody will come along and help me onto the stage. That would be ideal, I think. Oh, hey. All right, I got an arm. Okay, so we're going to head up on. All right. Okay. Okay, I got this. Yeah. These don't feel like rock ones that I was walking on yesterday in Ireland.
Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay.
Right, stop. There you go.
All right. So the point, thank you guys. Thank you. So the point I want to make with this blindfold is that when you lead a lean transformation, it feels a lot like wearing a blindfold. You start out and you think you have the vision of what you want. And you say, I want to go from point A to point B. And you think it's going to be this straight line all the way through. But what you quickly find out is there are obstacles everywhere, whether it's people or processes or your sales, whatever it may be, and you end up going from here to here to here to here to here. Then maybe eventually you get to where you think you want to be, and the entire thing looks different. And that is what leading a lean transformation feels like. We'll see if this thing will fire up. All right. So lean transformation feels like no map, no GPS, no guarantee. You're just moving forward. You just have the courage to walk in the dark. You're just feeling your way through it, hoping that you're going to reach the vision that you've sold to your team. And there's a chance you may not, or it may look different. And there's a good chance that they're going to influence that vision, and it's going to be very different than what you had in your head. But that's a good thing. So even the best walk blind. And that starts even with CD Matters. They wear a blindfold every single day as they try to find their path forward. Admin Steel Sheds. They're excellent. They wear a blindfold every single day as they go forward in their lean implementation. Hampton Conservatories. They wear a blindfold every day. Even Toyota is learning every single day. Last night we had dinner with Oliver Conger and his team, British Rotherm, right here, there he is. And they're talking about AI integration like crazy. And it's something that has never been done. Their path is completely blind. They're going to learn as they go. And that is completely fine. So for the last 14 months, I have been transforming my business from a traditional batch and queue style business where we had tons and tons of inventory that no customer wanted. We had burden on our people everywhere you looked. People were bending down and picking stuff off the ground every day, all day long. We had long lead times that our customers hated, and it was just the way we knew how to do business. I did it that way for 20 years. I didn't think there was a difference. But one day, it clicked. And it clicked when I saw Ryan, I don't even know where he's at, Ryan Tierney. He's the guy that lit my mind on fire. He lit that light bulb, and off I went. But it was definitely terrifying the entire time. And I had to have a lot of courage to trust the process. And even though I had this blindfold on, I knew that if I followed people like Ryan and Oliver forward, that they would help guide me. They would help me onto the stage. I don't know, who helped me on the stage? Thank you so much. If we just let other people help us, we'll get to where we want to go, and we'll have a better business. So during those 14 months, my company has adopted 3 rules. So I would like to share these 3 rules with you guys today, if you guys are game for it. So let's go into rule number 1. This is probably going to tie in pretty good with what Ryan was talking about, but never go backwards. Show of hands, how many people here have made an improvement and then left the improvement to live in the wild, to only come back and find that that improvement has slipped away. Okay? And it probably happens every single day. We get so excited about the next improvement that we often forget to continue on with the improvement that we've made, or we may have so much waste like I had that you have to put that energy everywhere all the time, so you're constantly switching and switching and switching. So for us, we have this rule that we never go backwards. When we make an improvement, that is the new standard. So how many people in here have just straight up said, when we make an improvement, this is the new standard. We're not going to slip backwards. We're not going to go back to what's comfortable. We're going to lean into this, and if it sucks, we're going to improve it. That's what I do every day. I hurt people's feelings. So I want to tell you guys a story, and I have a video. This is Kirsten. She works in my bolt pack area. She does bolt pack assembly. For 10 years, we've had these Excel-based documents in this binder. And you flip through it, find the part number, and then it tells you how to make it. This thing was a defect creator. For years, we would send defects to our customers because engineering would forget that they made a change and they would forget to update it. Or somebody would make a bolt pack with an assumption because the page was missing. Or somebody would pull it out, scribble on it, write a new part number, and we were just creating defects. So one day, Kirsten made her first improvement video. I remember sitting in my office and watched it, and when I got to the end, I was like, yes, yes. So today I want to share with you guys Kirsten's improvement video.
Hi, I'm Kirsten. I work part-time in the shipping department, and I'm in charge of making the bolt packs and hardware kits. When I get to work, I come to the Kanban station and I grab the Kanban cards, which tell me which bolt packs are needed. So I take my Kanban cards and I bring them to my table. Since this top card is a Victory bolt pack, I'm going to go through the Victory binder and page through it to find the written SOP that shows me which hardware goes into the bolt pack. For this improvement, I'm going to be showing you the new way of how I'm going to be making the bolt packs. With my tablet here, I can open the Gemba app to find the bolt packs, so I can search the number and find the SOP that's been created. So now I can use Gemba on my tablet and throw these bulky binders in the trash.
Mic drop, right? She dropped them into the trash. I was like, yes, yes, we're moving forward. We're moving forward. I was so excited about this. I went out to Kirsten's area and I was like looking for her all over the place, couldn't find her. Then I got a little distracted and then I was looking for something and I opened the drawer in the table and to my horror, the binders had returned. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Why are the binders here? So I went on a quest. Who brought the binders back? Finally, I figured out who brought them back. His reason was, just in case. We're going to keep these just in case. Show of hands again. How many times have you made an improvement and then held on to the backup plan as just in case? Yeah, pretty much all of us. But here's the thing. You have to go forward. You cannot go backwards. Now, let's just say that that process was terrible. Let's just say that Gemba server went down permanently forever, and now all of my SOPs, all 2,000 of them, are gone. Tom, better not happen. What would we do then? Oh, we'd dig the binders out again, right? No, we would make another improvement to fix it. We're not going to leave the binder in the drawer. So during the introduction, one of the things that they told you is I have a content creating channel called Lean by Doing, and we pretty much did lean by doing it, so that's kind of how it stuck. We do lean, we just do it. And so one of the things that I'm really big about is putting actions into place. So I don't want you guys to just come here and do nothing. I want you to find things from any speaker that you hear from, write it down, go home. This week, you're back to work on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, and put it into action. Decky, what was it that you guys did when you came home from Japan? Tore down walls, right? The faster you go from understanding to action, the faster the principle will stick. So my action from the first rule, where have you let something slide backwards and move it forward this week? Not too hard. I'm sure you guys are already thinking about those things that have slipped backwards. Go have the hard conversation. Be candid. Just explain the why. Why can't we go backwards? Well, it wasn't a good process before. And the new process may not be great, but it's still better than what we had. All right, moving on to rule number 2, Ryan, right here. Total and unwavering commitment. Now, this one's wild. So in 1519, this is Hernan Cortez. He traveled from Spain on ships, and they landed in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. And you can imagine how miserable that journey was. It wasn't your normal travel. It wasn't using airplanes. It was using wooden ships. I'm sure there was dysentery, disease, death, all kinds of terrible things, and I'm sure the food wasn't very good either. But here's the thing. Hernan Cortez had unwavering commitment, because even though they landed on the shores finally, and they made ground finally, and his team gets off these ships, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so good to be here. And then Hernan Cortez turns around and says, burn the ships. Excuse me? Listen, if I was one of those sailors, I'd be like, listen, I've got family in Spain. I've got some friends I'd like to see. How about we don't? How about we leave 1 or 2 boats? You know, maybe we just go and we look around for a little while. If we like it, we can stay. But if we don't, we'll go back to the ships and we'll go home, right? Because maybe this new world isn't what it's made up to be. Maybe it's scary. Maybe it's deadly. And for them, yeah, many of them did die. But you have to be able to say, burn the ships. Now, in rule 1, I talked about Kirsten's improvement and the binders showing back up. Now, in true Brian Meyers fashion, I did not leave those binders. I acted right then and there, and I didn't finish the story. So I had a very similar, maybe not so consequential, burn the ships moment. And when I found those binders, I acted right then and there, maybe a little crazy, but let's watch and see.
All right, somebody fess up. I thought we saw these get thrown away.
So now I can use Gemba Docs on my tablet and throw these bulky binders in the trash.
So who got them out of the trash? Our binders.
The after credit scene is the best. So now I don't recommend burning and arson as an official lean tool, but you are welcome to use it when needed. For this example, I'm literally in the parking lot between our 2 buildings, and I'm yelling over these flames at my team who's watching like, what is this crazy man doing? The way is forward. We're not going backwards. We do not move backwards. In that moment, no flinch, no backup plan. I'm removing it. Unwavering commitment. Total commitment to the cause. We are moving forward. We are not going backwards. We're not going to look around in the new lean world and see if we like and what we don't like and then retreat. We're going to go forward. We're going to do it. And some of you may die or leave. I guess those are the options. So rule number 2, action. Does the way you show up every day show total commitment? And this week, show up and show unwavering commitment. Now, this is very important. This is what separates CD Matters from other companies that try lean and can't do it. Because if you allow the escape hatch to be open, people will take it. So go home and weld it shut. We're going to weld it shut. All right, moving on. Rule number 3, focus on burden and flow. So, all the lean experts will tell you, focus on the 8 wastes. They say, emotion and overproduction and overprocessing, right? Let's focus on all those. What I learned very early on, although the 8 wastes matter, they're a symptom of a cause. So those 2 things that create all the 8 wastes are burden and flow, also known as unevenness. So if you can tackle burden, that will make a huge change in your business. People that are burdened get frustrated, they get stressed, and they get burnt out. You may not think it's a big deal for your employee to reach here, 40 times a day. But it does wear out that person. You may not think it's a big deal, like I did for years, to work on pallets on the floor. But every day that person's bending over 40, 50, 60 times to pick up something that's heavy. And when you focus on flow, whoa, I went too far there, sorry guys. When you, if you focus on flow, you'll change all of this because, there we go. Work piles up, inventory stacks, and customers wait. So when you have no flow, it's like having a stuck drain and trying to pour more water down it. It's just gonna come out, and it's gonna make everything a disruption. So you gotta focus on flow. So I'm gonna tell you guys a story about a disgruntled employee of mine. Here he is. Oh, I'm so mad. This is actually a reenactment. Joe, he's right there. He was kind enough to do this. I'm so mad, Joe says. Joe was burdened. We started our lean transformation. I said, we're going to do morning meetings. We're going to clean the bathrooms. We're going to clean the break rooms. And it's going to be glorious. And we're going to clean our own space, and it's going to be awesome. And my disgruntled employee looks at me and says, this looks like a bunch of rah-rah bullcrap. I'm sure that's relatable, right? In your lean journey, you've had those employees like, I don't want to do this. So the thing was, I put a lot of time trying to make this employee get it. I'm going to spend all this time because everybody needs to get it. Everyone in the building needs to get it. So I've spent all this time trying to make them understand, and they didn't understand. So I said, screw it. Screw it. I'm not going to try anymore. I went down the Art Burn path. And if you guys have read The Lean Turnaround, instead of trying to build the culture on top of Joe, for example, I said, screw it. Let's just go in and improve his area. Let's remove all the burden, all the struggle, everything. He won't even be part of it. We'll just do it. And guess what? After that, he was like, hell yeah, this is great. Oh my gosh. The thing is that he never would have gotten it if we didn't take the minute to focus on the things that were hurting him. And that was burden. How does he have more time in the day to now clean up the break rooms, do the morning meetings, when he's stressed and overworked every single day? If your business looks like everybody's operating with their hair on fire, you have a flow and a burden problem. Chuck Ciccarelli in The Ditch, he's a legend. He says, focus on burden and flow. Make the product move. It's the most important thing that you will do in your business. So action for number 3. Find a way to make work flow. What is making it stop and work to remove it? One of the things that I learned recently was to do your Gemba walks backwards. Start at the end of your process and go to the beginning. You know why? Because if you go from the beginning forward and you find a problem or a bottleneck, you're going to be pushing. If you start at the back end and go backwards, when you find the problem, you can pull it. And you can unplug that drain. And you can get the work flowing. You need to build in ways that your product doesn't stop. I once heard somebody, they told a story about how they went on a tour and this Japanese guy asked them, oh, I didn't know you made wine. We don't make wine. And he said, why are you aging your inventory then? And I was like, dang, that hurts. I felt that. I was like, I age my inventory too. It's not even good wine. But think about that. If your work is stopping, you're putting nothing into it other than waste. Defects. Somebody's going to run into it with a forklift. If it's powder coated, someone's going to scratch it. It's going to get dusty. And then you're going to ship it to the customer. Now you just passed this crappy product that's full of defects to your customer. We are 100% guilty of doing this for how many years, Kevin? 10, 15 years as we've grown? This is not acceptable. So find a way to make your workflow. Go onto your shop floor, walk it backwards, find what's gumming it up, and move it forward. So I came to Ireland in May. I came on a crazy American-style lean adventure. And when I say Americanized, I mean we did 7 lean tours in 5 days and 1,200 miles. We probably saw more of Ireland than most Irish people, and it was totally awesome. It was chaotic. We would pull up to landmarks, we'd hop out of the car, we'd take a picture, and then we would get to the next factory. And one of the things is that Ryan said, he stood up on stage months ago and said, I'm going to make Ireland the next Japan. And I can tell you from my trip in May that it is happening. There is so much momentum here in Ireland that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world, including Japan. Japan just has the culture. They got it. They They got it figured out already. They already have the lock picked. We're still trying to pick it. But Western lean is very different than traditional Japan lean. And you guys are doing it at such a high level. So when he says, I'm going to make Ireland the next Japan, hell yeah, it's already going that way. So I'm going to stand in front of you guys today, and I'm going to make my own bold declaration. I'm going to make the Midwest the next Ireland. It's a really weird spot to call the Midwest because it's actually in the Northeast. But I'm going to start here, and I've already started. I have 5, 6, or 7 different companies within a couple hours of me that I've been creating pull with, and I'm driving them forward. I want this. And I want it so bad. I have unwavering commitment to make that happen. So just remember, we all start with a blindfold on. The goal is to earn the right to take it off, but we have to do it together. So thank you, Ireland, and have a great week.